Hello, Erika here from the Queen of Confidence. I am in some traffic today, another car vlog, and today's video I wanted to come and talk to you guys about something that happened with me and one of my clients, where I've had some people say to me like, thank you so much for your help, it's because of you that I blah blah blah. Or there's been instances where someone said, no, because he did that, I did this. Or, you know, he really pissed me off, so it's because of him I'm in a bad mood. Or it's because of you that I'm doing so well. Or thank you because you really helped me. And, you know, I do think that people can help you, people can hurt you. Yes, but only if you allow it. So I think you fully have control of everything, and I think the only person to be grateful to or blame is ourselves. So I was helping a girlfriend of mine over the weekend, and she said to me like, oh my God, thank you so much, like you've really helped me, and you know, if it wasn't for you, blah 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 blah. And I actually was like, no, that's not true. Like, I actually haven't helped you. I have offered you some information. Let's say I have offered you a statement. I have offered you a new thought. I have offered you a new choice, right? And you, the person on the other side, decided that you would either take it up or not take it up. And depending on if you take it up or not, that will give you a result. You could take up the offer that I gave you, the choice that I gave you, the advice or the guidance or the support that I gave you, the idea that I gave you, and you could do nothing with it. You could just take it, hear it, and do nothing. Or you could take it, hear it, and then action it, and then create a result through the action that you did. It could be a good result, it could be a bad result, it could be a result. It's a result. So it's crazy because I really want you to give yourself a little bit more credit, a bit more credit, you know? This goes both ways. This goes in the way of when someone says, it's because of you that this happened to me, or it's because my parents were alcoholics, that's why I blah, blah, blah. Or because I was raised like this, that's the reason why I'm like this. And, you know, sometimes that can be so true. Like, you were raised, like me, I was raised in foster care. So I feel like because I was raised in foster care and with kids and people and whatever, I love people, I love chaos, I love big families, I love all that. But maybe my personality was always gonna love all that. And maybe me being raised in foster homes had nothing to do with it. You know, it's weird. It's like, I guess I want you to be aware of how you use that, you know, and know that you get the result, and no one can hurt you. Only you can hurt you. Someone can say something that may seem hurtful, but you make the choice to be hurt or not. Like, you make the choice to live in the suffering. I was listening to this podcast, and there was a woman talking about, you know, how one of her clients was sexually abused as a child. And I was sexually abused as a child as well, and it was so interesting to hear the boldness of how she was explaining this, because it's a touchy topic, you know, and people don't want to go there because you can offend someone, or you might be worried about offending someone, you know, depending on how you take the space. So this lady was talking about how her client was sexually abused, and how even though her client was sexually abused as a child, and she was sexually abused maybe once or twice by this person, this woman continued to abuse herself every single time she thought about it. And she thought about it hundreds and thousands of times. So the offender abused you twice. But how many times did you abuse yourself with the thought of it, and replaying it, and putting yourself back there and living in the suffering of it, right? And she wasn't saying that she was right or wrong. It wasn't like a judgmental thing. It was just like, hey, there's some awareness here. You know, how many times have you abused yourself now through this? How many times have you taken yourself back through that? And I thought it was so interesting, because I was like, you know what, that brings it back into my power, and I don't have to allow myself to abuse myself through that thought, or that reliving of that experience again. I can stop now. I can say I was abused as a kid however many times, and that's it, and not as an adult. Does that make sense? It's pretty trippy, but I was just like, it was the work of Byron Katie. It was just amazing. I was like, that's such a great concept and such a great way to take control back, and it's all about reclaiming your responsibility, your ability to respond. You're the one that's responsible. And when you're responsible, you can shift anything you want. So I really, if somebody says to you, like, you did this, or good job, or someone's helped you do something, just know that even if they helped you do it, you're the one that did it. I could offer you, I always say this as an example, I could give you like the winning lottery numbers and be like, here are the 6 numbers. You are going to win $20 million, $20 billion. You still got to go play those numbers. Like, you still have to go buy the ticket, show up to the place, pick the numbers, and play. Just because I told you the winning lottery number doesn't mean you win the lottery. You still got to do the action. You still got to do the thing. So no matter how much you help your friends, or no matter how much you feel like someone helped you, just know that at the end of the day, you also made the decision. You're the big doer of all of that. Like, you made the decision to take that information and turn it into action. You made a decision with that information and you turned it into action. And that is huge, and you deserve a big amount of credit for that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's stop saying, no, it's because of this person that I lost the weight. It's because of this person that I'm better. And I've said that myself. Like, my coach helped me, and it's because of her. She was a conduit. She led me there, but I did the fucking work. You know what I mean? I did the work. I transformed myself. I continued to do the work. I kept doing more work. Like, give yourself some credit, because I can't help you unless you want to be helped and you take the help and you action the help. No one can hurt you unless you allow that to hurt you, and you make that mean something. So you make the help mean something, you make the hurt mean something, and we don't have to choose to let anybody hurt our feelings. Isn't it awesome when you think about it like that? If you're reacting, you don't see any of this shit. You're like, it's so hard. It's not. If you're reacting, you don't have that space, that time to go, hold on, that person just did something nasty to me that I think is nasty in my head. Do I have to react? What's my next move? Do I have to buy into it, or can I just be like, do you know what? Cool. Like, now when I'm driving, because I drive all damn day, and someone flips me, or like, motherfucker, and they beep at me, I'm like, cool. That's you, that's not me. I'm not gonna get upset as well. Like, you're the one looking crazy. So I just go like, I just let it happen, and I'm like, whatever, and I don't even think about it. But if I sit there and I react back, and I'm like, oh, fuck you too, like, for the next 10 minutes while I'm driving, I'm like, motherfucker, what an asshole. You know, have you done that? You've done that before. I've done that before. And I've been like, motherfucker, and it's like 10 minutes later, and I'm like so far away, I'm like not even in that part of town anymore, and I'm still talking about the guy or the girl or the person or the car or the truck, and how dare they, and they're probably doing the same thing about me, and we're both right. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So it's like, you know what? Let you do you, I'm gonna do me. If you want to be crazy and get angry and upset, and that makes you feel good, I can't worry about that. It's none of my business. That my business is how I act. You know, and Wayne Dyer says it, you know, how you act is your karma, how others, something like how others act is their karma, how you respond is yours. And it's true, you know, like, I never understood that quote, like, you know, what other people think about me is none of my business. I never understood that. I was like, of course it's my business. They're thinking about me. And then it's like, actually, no, it doesn't define me. It defines them. If you think I'm an asshole and I'm a jerk and I'm this and I'm that, that's what you think about me. That's not what I think about me. And it doesn't mean that's what everybody thinks about me. And really, if you think that about me, that just defines the kind of person you are and the way you think. It doesn't define me, really, because you can't define me. I define me. And it's a crazy, like, it's a flip, because you can do it in the positive and you can do it in the negative as well, like in the blame and in the being a victim and all that kind of jazz. But so I really wanted to just put that little concept out there for you to think about, because if someone's helping you do something and you feel like it's because of this person, just know it's not. It's because of you. You did the work. You decided to do it. Thank goodness they were there and they led you. But even if they weren't there, someone would have led you. Something would have led you. There would have been a sign that would have gotten you where you needed to get to, because at the end, the person who needed to do this was you. You always needed to do it. You always needed to go through that. You always needed to find that strength. It was always part of your hero's journey. Like, it was always going to happen. It just depended who it was going to be and when. And you answered it and you did it. So be proud of yourself, because you did the work and no one else. And on the flip side, know that when shit goes down, it's also you. And isn't that cool? I think it's good news, because we're in control, and we're not in control, but we're accountable to ourselves, and we can shift as we want to shift. It's so much better than being a victim. I love it. So, a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of truth bombs at you today. I'm not in traffic anymore. How great is that? Didn't even realize it. Love talking to y'all. Driving is so much easier when you're there. So I will see you soon. Have a beautiful day, and think about that for a little bit. Marinate on that one, y'all. Peace out.